In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a schematic diagram for your useless box. So in the previous one, we got to the point where we set up everything and you found your libraries. And you can see where my libraries are here now for all my parts from the school. And now I'm going to start. So we're going to grab an AT Tiny because that's the part we're actually going to use for the project. And we're just going to place it, and I just use my left mouse button. And then what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to start finding my other parts. So I know that most of them are going to be under basic here. So I'm going to start with some power. So I'm going to put a ground in right here. And I'm going to put what's VCC, which is power. I'm going to put it up here, and I'm just going to right mouse click to get rid of them. And then I'm going to start with those two first so I can show you what you're going to do with them. So I'm going to scroll in here a bit, and I want to join these. And joining does not mean taking this and, whoops, let me just go cancel here. Joining them does not mean taking this and putting it over top like that, because that's not joined, because as I move it away you can see that it isn't connected. So what I mean by joining is when I click here, you're going to see it goes red, and if I click with my left mouse button, you can see it joins there, and then come to here you can see it goes red as well, and I click with my left mouse button. I'm going to right mouse click just to get out of that, and then now you can see that it's joined. No matter what I do, it's joined. Okay, that is joining to make sure that things are going to work for you. So over here I'm just going to take left mouse click, you can see it go red, left mouse click, and there is my positive negative to start. Okay, now I'm going to continue on and I'm going to add the LED in. So I'm going to just come grab my parts. There's what's called a 1/4 watt resistor and a 1/2 watt resistor. The difference between them is when you breadboarded, there's two different types of resistors in the classroom. One's bigger, one's smaller. So the 1/4 watt's the smaller one. And I'm going to put it out over here. I'm going to right mouse click to get rid of it. And I'm going to take an LED and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to click it. And then what I can do is when I highlight with my left mouse button, I can right mouse click and you can, or sorry, not right mouse click, space bar. And you can see that it flips around. So I'm going to move it into position maybe like that. I'm going to grab another ground and I'm going to put it here. Okay. Then what I can do is just join them. You can see it goes red and red. Again, I'm left mouse clicking on each one and clicking there, and I'm going to right mouse click to get out of it. And you can see now when I move it, everything is connected and it doesn't come disconnected. Okay, so there's my first bit. Next part, let's bring in a servo. So I'm just going to scroll up here. And I'm going to go back to the Arduino parts and I'm going to scroll. There it is, servo. And this time around, I'm going to spacebar it first to put it into the position that I want. And I'll put it right here. Okay, and I'm going to move it up a bit. And again, I'm just going to attach things. So I'm going to take it and do my VCC and my ground. So I'll go back to basic parts. I go ground right there. I'm actually going to do my VCC. I'll put right here. And then I'll take my wires and I'll attach them out. You can see a little kink in there, so you can adjust that down. Okay, and then I can grab here to there. And then finally I'm going to take my data line, which is the one that's going to control the servo. And that one's going to go up to pin 0. Okay, and I'm just going to drag this with my left mouse button. I'm just going to click on it. You can see how it kind of highlights, and I can just move it around a bit. Right, so last bit of part that I got to do over here is I'm going to put in a switch and a resistor again. So I'm going to take my resistor, spacebar it to put it into place first. Then I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, and you're going to find a normally open switch. It looks like that. I'm going to spacebar it right away, and I'll click right here. And then I'm going to move it up a tiny bit. And this time around, I'm going to take my ground. I'm going to Control C it for copy, Control V to paste, and I can drag it over to here. Oops, right to there. And on the VCC, I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to go copy. And then I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to go paste, just to show you different ways of doing things. And I'm going to put these a little bit closer, and then I'm just going to join them. So they're joined there, join there, join there. And finally, I need to join over from pin 4. I need to join over to here. Okay, and you can see when there's a join, there's an actual dot that gets created. You can see again it moves up and down. Okay, so I'm going to move it back to there, and I'm going to just take and clean the stuff up a bit. So I'm going to move these things down, and I'm almost done. Okay, now you can see that there's a VCC in 3 different places. That means they all get connected together, and you can see the grounds all get connected together. So when I do this, you can see I actually highlight blue, right? The only thing is that they get connected together, but they don't get connected to a battery yet. So we got to kind of connect a battery to them. So we're going to come back to battery, and I'm going to put a battery just over here. And I'm going to right mouse click to get rid of it. And again, I'm just going to take this, Control C it, Control V. I'm going to put my VCC here and take my ground, Control C, Control V, and put a ground there. And what I'm going to do is connect these up. So what this really means now is when I highlight this, you can hopefully see on the screen, they all highlight blue, which means the battery connects to all the VCCs or the positives. Okay, and the grounds now you can see all the way through connect to all the different grounds, and they will connect back to the battery. This is very important. You don't have this, you got no power spot to plug into, okay, for your batteries to go. Okay, so the last couple things are simply going to be double clicking on a resistor to put a value in. So this is going to be a 10K resistor. Okay, and double clicking over here, and this is called a 220 ohm resistor. And if they don't show up, what happens is under view, there's one called part markings, and under part markings there's main, and under main it's value. Sometimes it's res def, and you can see these R1s, U1s. Sometimes under view, part markings, main, it might be none. You got nothing. So just make sure you go to view, part markings, main, and go value, and all your values are there. So when I look at this now, I think everything is there. You know, I can move stuff any way I want, but just double checking. I have my LED, my resistor, my servo, the ground to ground, and again, what I'm doing is I'm checking to make sure everything's connected, right? If you mess up here, everything from this point on messes up, and when you go to make your project work, it doesn't because you've messed up here. So you have to make sure this is correct, right? So pin 4 is what we want. Pin 0 is what we want. Pin 2 is what we want. I think we're looking good. So I'm going to stop at this video and we're going to continue on how to actually make a circuit board in the next one.